the music that was real popular, what I did was started flipping them in Creole and letting people, understand that, like, we could do it just as nice as what you're hearing in English, but, we could do it in Creole too. And also there's politics with the DJs out there. Hip-hop has become this big business. It's become commercialized. If you want anybody to play your music, with the DJs having their record pools and how they get paid to play music and how their music is monitored, like, they really don't play original music unless they really getting hit off. And if you don't have a lot of money to really pay these DJs, whether it be under the table or whatsoever, like, they're not playing your music. So, again, what I did was took the music that was popular that they were playing already, started flipping them in Creole, and then so now when you give them this music and tell them, like, yo, this is like Mims, this is why I'm hot. And at the time that it was hot, a DJ is willing to play that music, just to really, just to see what it's like. But he's more susceptible to play that music than he is something that he really doesn't know what beat it is. So since he's familiar with the beat, he'll go ahead and spin it, and that's just an advantage of of flipping the remixes. But now that I got people's attention, I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop with the remixes, but I'm definitely coming with some original music to let people know that that it ain't all about the remixes. It's not all about, I don't even consider it copying music.
So Mecca, who are the people that you've worked with on the album?
I worked with Sweet Mickey. Sweet Mickey's on the album. Kylie's on the album. Wyclef Jean's on the album. Who else? Top Atlaman's on the album. Anthony B. My man Light from the Bush Babies is on the album. Who else? Dr. Zoe's on the album. Neg Mawan's on the album. Like a lot of hip-hop Creole dudes. I try to get as many dudes on there as possible, but try to, switch up the flow from like the Caribbean flavor to the reggae flavor, to even like a little bit of Latin flavor, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely, this Creole Connection album is definitely going to be a representation of like, like Creole hip-hop with a little touch of fuse of like, all that other music that, that we so much admire and we so much respect.
Okay, that's great. So ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. We're going to look forward to the album in 2008. So we're looking forward to it. So, wanted to talk a little bit about, the movement and, right now it's experienced a little bit of, I would call it's a bit stagnant. What would you equate to that?
When you say stagnant, I see the stuff that's being, said on some of the internet sites, and I hear, some of the haters talking and stuff like that, but, anytime you're making noise, I think that is good, you know what I'm saying? Even, bad publicity, they say is good publicity, and so I'm not saying bad on my part, like I've done something, to cause all of this, but anytime you start reaching different plateaus, especially plateaus that you thought that, people would never think that you could reach, and they're not used to seeing, people are always going to have something to say. And so, I think it's a good thing. I love it. I encourage it to keep going. If you've got something to say, I encourage people to express their opinions and say what it is that you feel about the movement. I'm listening, I'm watching, and, all I could do is just do what it is that I do. You know what I mean? I'm not here to lash back at anybody, for what it is that they think about the movement or what they think that I should be doing. Nobody can really tell me what I should be doing except myself and, and my management team that's, kind of guiding me, in the direction, to just be, just like the best artist that I could be and try to be as many places as possible, try to get as much exposure as I can. So, I think that we, because of this genre of music is fairly new, it's, as far as resurfacing, the Haitian community is definitely not used to accepting the hip-hop Creole movement, with open arms. They say that it's like, like peasant music. They say it's like, music vagabond. You know what I mean? Like, we do too much fighting. We do too much, not getting along. And in a way, we kind of proving them right because there's already bickering and fighting and us kind of like teasing at each other. And we just like started. We haven't even gotten this paper yet. And we still at, right now we at each other's throat. But I just continue to do what it is that I do, even in the realm of like, rapping in Creole. I try to make sure I still go out to the schools. Like, not a lot of artists really like involve themselves in like the youth, the children's education just to make sure that they know about the culture, they know about the history and the legacy. And one thing that I must say is that the hip-hop Creole movement can bring that to the table. You know, it's our generation that can speak to the youth of today and let them know about our accomplishments, our legacy, our history. And with that, we can empower our minds and move forward, and you see that the generations grow and become better and better.
Well, that's great that you say that, which moves me to my next question. Where do you see yourself in the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years or so?
3 to 5 years, you know, I'm aspiring to be a CEO of, you know, of like whatever organization. It's gonna be something, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that I can create enough of a pathway to actually create a label so that these younger dudes under me can come up and don't have to go through what I'm going through right now, which is like, you know, hand picking out the networking that's willing to work with the hip-hop Creole movement, finding out which clubs are willing to even receive hip-hop Creole movement, which magazines are willing to even talk about, you know, the hip-hop Creole movement. And so while I'm bumping into these obstacles and finding out who's who and who's willing to do what, hopefully I'm able to create a trail. Hopefully I'm able to create an avenue, maybe a record label, a magazine, whatever form of media it may be, so that the younger dudes under me don't have to spend like 6-7 years on the road just finding out, you know, where they can plant their feet, because I'm already doing that. So as much as, you know, dudes is talking, like, yo, we out on the road spending our own money, you know, and just trying to find out, you know, which door is going to open up for us. And we try not to have that situation happen for the dudes that's coming from under us, dudes that's coming behind us, you know, that's in the same genre of music. And so in 5 years, I just want to be prosperous. I want to be, you know, lamping somebody. Everybody wants to definitely be not only rich materially, you know what I'm saying, because that's superficial, but just rich that soul, you know what I'm saying, knowing that I had a love and respect for my country, and I pursued a dream, and I made my children happy, and I made, like, you know what I'm saying, other people happy with just, you know, the perseverance and the devotion that I have for trying to find out more information, especially when they try to bury it in the schools. But I'm just trying to, like, dig it out in the lives that are buried and just trying to bring it out using the hip-hop Creole movement as a tool to promote education.
Wow, that's great. While we're on that note, I definitely want to talk about the BET Awards. You were seen at the Cipher. Wanted to know, how is it that you weren't selected to participate?
How was it that, I'm sorry, how was it that I was?
How you were there, but, a lot of people are wondering why you didn't spit. So.
Yeah, you know, one thing I have to say is that, you know, first we got to give thanks that I was even seen. I had the bandana on and the world was able to see, like, yo, there was a Haiti cat in the Cipher that was actually seen. I could have not even been in the Cipher, but what initially transpired was my homegirl Flo, which is, she's from Guadeloupe. You know, I connected with her, you know, through the language of the Creole language again, even though, you know, she's from Guadeloupe, again, another island, another country that speaks Creole, even though the dialect's slightly different. There's a lot of our Haitian brothers and sisters are over there also. So, they're still owned by France, so there's definitely the French influence, just like how we were, you know, we have in our country. We got a lot of French-speaking people. But anyway, she was the one that was invited. They were looking for a female French lyricist, and they found her on MySpace. So, you know, big up to MySpace for even creating that avenue for artists. But BET found her on MySpace, invited her to come down to the rooftop where DJ Premier was doing the Cipher that was going to be on, you know, the Hip-Hop Awards, BET. I was in Canada at the time, and, you know, Flo, we bump heads. We constantly speak on the phone. She's not on the road with me, but she's soon to be. And so she's politicking with me, letting me know she's going to be in New York, such and such date, and this is what's transpiring. I thought it was definitely a big break for her, and she's my sister in this. And so I said, yo, I'm going to come down from Canada. We drove down from Canada a couple of days earlier. We were supposed to still be in Canada, but we drove down, met Flo. She was by herself, so the music that was real popular, what I did was started flipping them in Creole and letting people,